There are those that have seen the future. They've seen our disasters and our wars. For years, these remote viewers were a part of a military research program, accurately foreseeing the outcome of global events. But when they expected to see a future of prosperity, what they saw was our end. Now, the military officer in charge of this top-secret program shatters the silence, revealing to the public what the governments of the world have known all along.
The Norwegian government has finished construction of the Doomsday Vault to protect the world's plant species as sort of a modern-day Noah's Ark. More than 100 countries have backed the project.
To warn you.
Viewers began to pick up on a very large event that at first I thought was a nuclear war.
To prepare you.
Will cause the deaths of millions of people. I don't want to believe it.
To help you survive.
Knowing where to go with your last tank of gas is so important.
The kill shot.
So I just wanted to do a short video. I don't know if it'll be short, but anyway, about a dream that I had last night. But first I want to talk to you about salvation. If there are any of you that are watching this video that are not saved, I would ask you to seek the Lord first, to repent. The time is short. I want to talk to you about a dream that I had back in on 3/12/12 of last year. I dreamed about rockets and Chevron, which is Hebron, and there have been some incidents here recently. Then I also saw a funeral. Well, actually it was I guess a graveyard, and there was a sign, a huge sign up near the graveyard, and there was a number on the street of that, and it was 1508321 or 150821. They were in blue letters on a white background. And then I heard the death of the Royal Mount, or Mound, and we know that the Temple Mount is now under dispute, and the EU has stated that they believe the Palestinian state is a state now. They've given them that distinction in the news recently. At the same time I was dreaming about Baku also during that time. I also had a dream about, I heard the words improvario provocato. I don't know what that meant. And then on 4/4/12, I dreamed about the monument to the destruction of America, and it was a cross and this huge monument, and then it had words next to it that meant "You be bad, America," things like that. I've had a few dreams about nuclear war. So this morning at 7:23, I had a dream. That's when I woke up after the dream, but I don't know exactly what the dream means completely, but I'm going to put it out there for you. We know that also that Syria has used chemical weapons, and that's supposed to be a red line, but as we've heard, if you watch Israeli news, Barack Obama and Netanyahu are getting along famously well, and it seems like everything's just about ironed out, although there's mixed signals on both sides. So I ask you to go to Arutz Shiva on the web and look at what they have to say and see if you can read any meaning into that. But let's get back to this dream that I had. I dreamed that I was driving a car up some streets in San Francisco. You know, the streets that are very steep, then they level off for the cross street, and then they go up again. And I went up 3 streets and I believe I made a left-hand turn. I pulled into my driveway. I don't live in San Francisco. I went in the house, came back out. It had a semi-detached or a detached garage. I got my lawnmower out in this dream. Very, very vivid dream. The sky was blue. It was near the end of the evening. I began to mow. I made 3 passes and a quarter pass or a half a pass, and the lawnmower sputtered and just shut down. So I pulled a couple times and my dogs began to bark. I had my 3 Irish setters there, and I pulled the gas cap up and was looking as the dogs were barking, and I could see fuel in there, and I had the thought in my mind, maybe that's a, you know, maybe there's been an EMP. And I looked, and sure enough, there was 2 bright lights in the sky and a boom, and all the power began to go out everywhere. And my wife came out, and she said, one of the dogs barking, and that's whenever we saw the EMP. And I thought to myself, what are we going to do now? Then I woke up in the dream. So within the dream, I'm having another dream, and I dream I wake up and I go to work, and my job is to train people to do CPR, to save people's lives. And so I'm given this class, and then I'm given a demonstration at the end of the class, and I pretend like I'm having a heart attack, and I fall over, and one of the students, a man student, I don't know why his man, comes over, and immediately, instead of checking my vitals, see if I'm breathing, he begins to try to do rescue breathing. So I stop the class, say, you know, didn't you guys understand that part? You need to assess the situation before you continue on to do either breathing or cardio stimulation. So I look around the room, and there's police officers sitting everywhere with civilians all in there, and the police officers are wearing black uniforms, and they have the word police written down them, and then making across some other word across there, or rescue or something, police and rescue, but it formed a cross in white letters across their uniform, big, what, you know, they were like 3-inch tall letters. And as I was telling them this and looking at them, and they were kind of relaxed, like nothing was going on, and laying back, and they had, you know, drinks and snacks and things. It was like a class atmosphere, but this thing was in a gas station almost type of deal, but yet part of it looked like a mall. I don't understand how that worked, but anyway, there was a woman there, and I recognized her, and for some reason it sparked my memory, and I thought about the dream that I'd had that morning about the EMPs. And so I began to witness to her about the coming of Christ, the soon coming of Christ, and these EMPs going off, and the people overheard me, several of them, and they said, hey, what's going on? What is this? What's happening? And then there was 2 EMPs go off again. And then there was, we could see across the bay from where this was situated, where I was giving this class, and there was a refinery over there, and that refinery was hit with a nuclear weapon or something, a huge explosion and fire, and people began to cry and scream, and what are we going to do now? And the lights began to go out, you know, everywhere because of this EMP strike. So in the first part was a dream, and within that dream I dreamed I woke up and went to work trying to do this life-saving thing, or training to teach people how to save lives, and then there was an actual EMP strike during that time while I was giving this class. There were many people, the people were lax, they were just laying around. So I don't know exactly what that means. Maybe God's trying to say this is actually what's going to happen. I do not live in San Francisco. Or maybe he's saying that people are lax and this thing is going to happen. It was West Coast, definitely. In my other dream about the 5 ships, they struck the East Coast and the West Coast also. I did not see the weapons. I did see they were about, from the location of my home in the dream, they were about 20 miles away, out, looked like to the north of where I was living on this hillside. It was a residential area. So we know that God gives dreams and visions in the last days according to Joel, and we know that where there are dreams and visions, they will also fail. But for some reason the Lord has shown me this, and he showed me this at 7:23 in the morning. I never sleep to 7 in the morning, never. Our dogs wake us up at 5:30 or 6 o'clock at the latest. You know, they want to eat and get out and do their thing, you know. So they're in there scratching on the cages trying to get out. We have them sleeping in a crate at night, and the ones that don't sleep in the bedroom. But so we've got one in particular. She's a naughty little dog, the little setter. We call her Little Bit. She's the one that will aggravate everybody, and she'll wake you up usually at 4 o'clock, 4:30 in the morning. And so anyway, I had this dream at 7:23 in the morning. The dogs did not bark or anything. In my dream, the dogs were barking because they heard there may have been a third EMP that I didn't notice, and that's why the lawnmower quit. And then I saw the two out there about 20 miles away. I don't know, but be praying for the people that live in the San Francisco area, because the Lord has shown me that not only are they going to strike there, Los Angeles, but also up in the Washington area against the naval bases and things like that. So the Lord is coming soon, and I encourage each and every one of you to stay in prayer for your loved ones, and pray for me also. I need your prayers, and I will pray for you if you'll ask me to. I've had many people ask me to, and I pray for them. So I want to say God bless each and every one of you, and I want to say remember that every one of us are only saved by the power of the blood of Jesus Christ, and not by our works. We do works because of our love towards Christ, not because that is a requirement of salvation. We are saved because of what He did. It's by His work alone. He talked about this unjust judge, and how this unjust judge, this lady came to him and kept bothering him, and finally says, I got to answer her, she's going to drive me crazy. And so he dealt with her and dealt rightly, and he said, I don't fear man or God, but I'll do it because of her pestering me. And then Jesus said, how much more will God, who loves you, not answer your prayers and your pleading before Him? So uplift your loved ones, and know that there's a book, the Lamb's Book of Life, and the names are already written. God knows the end from the beginning, and He is working on that, and those that are in His book will not be lost, that He is faithful. Jesus said at the end of that little parable, He said, but when I come, will I find faith on earth? Can you be daring enough to have faith, to believe in Him, to believe in His promises for your life, that He is the salvation, that He is the one that keeps you and protects you, and He's the one that's going to leave the 99 and come for you. That is who He is. He is this faithful one. God made the law to lead us to Christ so that Christ could save us, because we can't be saved under the law. The law never saved anybody. It's only Christ. When Christ died on the cross, He went into hell and went into paradise, or whatever that is in between, and preached the gospel to them and brought them out.